My wife and I had made an appointment to go to the hospital for IVF, but when I had just finished the sperm collection, she suddenly texted me to ask for, "I don't want to have children anymore. Let's get divorced." I returned to the motel room unexpectedly. As soon as I entered the door, I was struck by the men in black surrounded only saw a woman coming out from the middle of the crowd when she saw her whole body clearly. I was like a numbness. It was Shen Lemeng, a famous woman with great beauty, and at the same time a genius of a family. The Black Dao clan has huge power and wealth. What is she looking for me to do? I am confused. I asked her what she is looking for me. Why do you hear that? Lemeng slowly said that I wanted to give birth to you. More precisely, then I needed your sperm 5 years before the moonlight. Qin Chen's mourning cancelled the wedding and the dog foods suddenly flew abroad to settle down to save face for their home. Qin avoided letting his daughter be laughed at. They dragged me, who looked like Cheng Jiawei, to 5 parts to get married according to the agreement. At that time, my mother was dying and needed a large sum of money to cure her last wish to see me. Entered the hall because in order to satisfy mother's wishes and get a large amount of money for medical treatment, I agreed to enter into the contract. In the past 5 years, Qin Xiaoxiao suffered from severe depression because she was abandoned by Cheng Jiawei. When she fell ill and cried, "Just messed up my back full of sharp scratches," her swallow, I gently coaxed her, wiping her tears every day. The night on duty next to me caused me to suffer from severe insomnia. However, the good thing was that I prevented her suicidal thoughts, and her illness gradually subsided after that. To deal with the lustful words from the people around her, Tan Thin came up with the idea of having a child. But because they were a contractual couple, they couldn't do the fake honesty thing. So she thought about IVF is just the sudden return of Cheng Jiahu, which has disrupted all plans at this time. I pulled my suitcase out of the gate of the villa and met Qin Chen when our eyes met her. Frowning slightly, his face showed a confused look and said sorry. There was an unexpected situation. I had to break the contract before the deadline. Yes. Maybe the unexpected situation in her words is the return of the bright moonlight. Zheng Jiahu is okay anyway. The contract. Ours is only 3 months away from the end. I calmly replied. It's not much different. Even if I violate the contract, I will bear all your losses. The sports car in the garage. I want to drive. I can get the mansion I want. You can bid on any apartment. I will tell the person to transfer money to your account. Qin's smooth voice. She was very grateful that I had been by her side for the past 5 years and felt that it was important too. The divorce proposal was cruel for me. But after meeting Cheng Jiahu again and learning the truth about the reason for his departure 5 years ago, she decided to do so at her own discretion. Tomorrow we will go through the divorce procedures. Looked casually. I don't know why Qin Xiaoxiao's heart is a little unwilling to give up. Maybe he doesn't have any regrets. Why'd I pick up a few replies? I have something to do today. She suddenly felt a clear, confused mood. After the divorce, he was liberated, and he could be righteous in the sight of the family. So why did he see chaos in his heart? So confused. To wait for when you are free. I gently lowered my head to suppress the slight pain. I turned around and pulled my suitcase and left. Qin Chen's call. I turned my head and thought that I would hear the words. But she just told me to give. You go. Qin Xian felt sour in her heart that the 5 years together are now over. She wants to be with me a little longer. I heard this, smiled wryly, nodded. No need. I took the taxi by myself. I pretended to be comfortable, waved hello, and then turned to tears. From now on, we would be people belonging to 2 different worlds if I didn't deliberately meet. And she will probably never see me again. Watching the shadow of my back disappear in the night of long Tan meditation. Because when she got home, she unconsciously walked into the room where I used to be. The inside was empty. Everything that belonged to me was. Move away. As she sits down on the bed trying to find some of my leftover breath, she accidentally touches something soft. What is this? When he saw that thing clearly, Qin Xiaoxiao was astonished, opened his eyes wide in. At that time, I returned to the motel room, arranged everything simply, and just lay down on the bed, intending to rest a little. In addition to the sound of a loud knock on the door. Who is looking for me at this hour? Could it be the landlord? Why did I open the door in confusion and find out? A large group of bodyguards dressed in black and a female secretary standing outside them, lined up from among the people, came out of the crowd. Tall and thin, I asked in surprise. Who are you? Why did you come here in the middle of the night? Your secretary. The woman began to introduce. This is Shen Lemeng, the general director of Shen Tea Group. Today we have a job to find you. I have something to do, I doubtfully asked myself with Shen Lemeng. Without any communication, why did she come to me? The woman sat down on the sofa and said slowly, I want to give birth to you. And after listening, I can't stand still where I am. I could believe that my ears were hallucinations, or that the heavenly gold of the noble Black Dao clan wanted to have a child with me. Why did I ask you again and again? You are not mistaken, but today is the first time we have met. And Shen Lemeng's eyes are still steadfast. The person I want to find is my brother, who is full of doubt or doesn't think he has charisma enough to make a dark Dao genius fall. Not to mention that she was determined to give birth to a child for herself seemed to look. Understanding my skepticism, Shen Lemeng slowly said, I need my brother's sperm. I was stunned. What are you saying? I need having a child, but I have a difficult place to conceive. All sperm in the water is not suitable for me. Only you are the only one. The sperm sample you provided today at the hospital has a fertility rate of up to 100 pH for me. Donor. So I need your consent to use it. To listen to Shen Lemeng's explanation. Praise me as a man with high quality. Many sperm. Swim fast and healthy. But I didn't expect the drama. Fu Ba village offered a high price to give birth to a child. Happened to me at this time. The secretary gave me a contract. We wanted to buy your sperm. The whole process will be kept secret. No trouble to you. Moreover, you will also receive. There are many benefits from that. When I read the contract, I couldn't help but be amazed. To give birth to a child with a bonus of 50 million twins and a bonus of 120 million 3 births and a reward of 230 million. Isn't this the legendary Da Zi Da Fuck? If I give birth to 7 children, will be rewarded with an unconditional mansion is really as attractive as money falling from the sky. But I refused. Sorry. I didn't sign. I hesitated for a moment and then seriously said I didn't want to have a child with someone. An unrelated woman heard my answer. Shen Lemeng, who always appeared calm, showed a hint of surprise on. Why is the face born beautiful, if the conditions are not enough? You can say that she thinks that when you make the contract, everything is sure. But I didn't expect to be rejected, not because her price was very high, but I didn't want to have a child with an unknown person. Would like to invite you to the reason why I agreed to Qin Xiaoxiao's proposal and cooperate in fertilization test tube is because after 5 years with me, I accidentally fell in love with her. So I didn't want to have a child of my own. Shen Lemeng didn't force me with his identity, but only left a business card on the table and coldly said, when think about it, please contact me afterwards. She left with the entourage below. In the dark, the secretary followed Shen Lemeng into the car, and Fan Lu Chao was too unaware of what he refused to do. Hearing this, Shen Lemeng leaned against the car and looked at Qian Ding. Said he would agree. At this time Qin Xiaoshen sat on my bed and discovered a pair of black socks that had been used. These socks are obviously not hers because she has never worn black socks. She always thinks I am a man. Zhang Shui didn't expect to be like other spoiled men who secretly had an affair and even took women home when she didn't notice Qin Xiaoxiao. Disgusted, her eyes were red with anger. Immediately she called me Lu Zhouying. It really made me feel nauseous. It's no wonder that he easily agrees to a divorce like that. It turns out that for this reason I. Listen, what are you talking about? Qin Xiaoxiao said coldly. Don't call me short-sighted. We, not being so close. I really regret living with a two-faced man like you for the past 5 years. Her like a blade pierced my heart, making the pain penetrate my bones. Did you misunderstand something? There was nothing to understand. Again, divorcing him is the right decision. Presenting who is better than him. At least he doesn't make stupid mistakes. Fortunately, in the past 5 years, I have not touched you otherwise. The person who regrets it will be me. Qin Chen. Thien said poisonous words with a defiant look. From now on, don't appear in front of me anymore. Her tears rolled down and her evil words were like the blade of a sweet honey knife. Stabbed into my heart and made me suffer. Haven't let me say anything more. She hung up the phone. Just like my hope, I was completely extinguished. The memories between me and Qin Shenxian flashed through my mind. I didn't expect that she would hate me so much. I keep thinking that after all these years, even if I don't have her love, at least I will leave a mark. Good thing when I called back the phone couldn't connect. Maybe she blocked my number and then called a while later. The voice rang again. I hurriedly picked up the phone. But the voice that rang out was not Qin Chen's, but from my close friend Lu Chao Ying. Please help me a little. My black socks were forgotten at your house. My college friend called and said. He's A professional cosplayer last time needed to prepare a set of promotional photos and borrow my room to shoot to dress up as the character with sexy long legs. He would have worn my black socks if it weren't for the fact that the character has good self-defense. He must have been pushed down a long time ago. Shao Keen added that at that time he felt that his black socks were tight. So he took them off and forgot about them. On your bed later. I forgot to take it away. Hearing the suit say, I remembered that when the suit left the socks, the black on his legs was gone. I felt sorry. I replied, sorry, maybe I can't get it back. Then I remembered the attitude led Chin's meditation just now. She definitely doesn't want to see me appear at the Chin family's house anymore. Brothers help. A little bit. But those socks are from Balenciaga, are very expensive. I spent all the money to buy them. I still plan to use them. Used again in the next cosplay exhibition. The conditioner almost cried when he saw that I didn't answer. He started this. I have no choice but to agree. I'll try to see if I go to the Chin family's house the next day in a worried mood. Chen misunderstood herself because of something. She had never been like this before. Just walked through the garden. Saw a man sitting reading the script. It was Chen Zhen Zheng Jiahu's bright moonlight. I don't expecting Cheng Jiahu to be here. This is the first time I have met him. And I feel a little embarrassed. I nodded my head in greeting. And was about to quickly go into the house. But heard the cold voice of Cheng Jiahu, who lacked money and came to ask for a fee. Breaking up with Ha, I stopped and replied that he misunderstood. Then I didn't come to ask for money. Didn't ask for money, comes to hold on. Cheng Jiahu sneered. I heard that you wrote a novel. Don't you be delusional. Don't you have a few more books? Your trash book isn't worth much. And it's not enough for me to buy a watch you think you can afford. My wife by contract and I had arranged to go to the hospital for IVF. But just as I finished giving a sperm sample, she suddenly texted me, sorry, I don't want to have children anymore. Let's get a divorce. Stunned, I returned to my rented room, only to find myself surrounded by a group of men in black suits as I entered the door. A woman stepped out from among them, and when I saw her face, I was completely numb. It was Tham Lamong, the famously beautiful woman and heiress of a powerful and wealthy underworld family. Why was she looking for me? I nervously asked her. Do you need something from me? Money. Money. Why did Trin Jiahu's words make me feel uncomfortable even though writing novels is only a left? But I can still afford to support myself. Seeing his contemptuous attitude, I don't want the couple to go around past. But Cheng Jiawei deliberately blocked the way. Turned out to be angry and shouted angry. Well, I'm just telling the truth. I'm not going to go back to the kind of person like you. I know about the marriage contract between the two of you. It's best for you to take the money and go away. I hate the kind of person like you who only knows how to look at money and live. The family friend said and then took out a diamond ring from his pocket. I immediately realized that it was the ring I had given Chin Chen. Meditate on the ring that I spent half a year's salary to buy. Why is it in Huu's hand? This is the Chin ring. Didn't anyone tell you that diamonds under a carat are worth nothing? Daring to use such a cheap thing to deceive Shao Chen, Cheng Jiahu threw the ring into the flower bushes and said to look for it himself. The ring disappeared in the flower bushes. I felt my heart tighten. I rushed to find the ring even though it might be Chin Chen's meditation given to Cheng Jiahu, but that's my sincere affection. I don't want it to be trampled on when I'm trying finding the ring among the thorns. A light bulb suddenly fell before I could react. My hand had been trampled hard because of Cheng Jiawei's shoes. The pain penetrates my anger. I don't want to confront Cheng Jiawei, but his actions have exceeded the limit. Seeing the satisfied smile on his face, I don't hesitate to grab it. Took Cheng Jiahu and made a powerful shoulder slap. Cheng Jiahu was completely surprised by my strength and I was thrown into a thorny flower bush. His body was bleeding. I looked at him with the attitude of a man mercilessly triumphant that stomps on his face. I'm not one to be bullied. You provoke me an inch. Will return 10 inches of family still trying to curse. You know who I am. Don't dare to treat me like that. I feel annoyed. He picked up a handful of mud and stuffed it into his mouth and then turned around and continued to search for the ring in the last flower bush. I also found it and left the Chin family without turning around. Although I won the victory over Cheng Jiao, but I didn't. Clown feels the joy of the sudden rain falling. I don't care about the curious eyes of passers-by who are running, sheltering from the rain and walking in the rain. The cold rainwater seeped into my flesh and I felt my eyes bitter. I don't know if it's rain or tears anymore. I only know that my mind became so vague that I was so cold and weak that I couldn't stand when I almost lost Go consciously. A Rolls Royce stopped right in front of me and then an umbrella appeared above my head. A woman looked at me. With a look of disbelief. She said softly, I agree with you. I was almost astonished. I couldn't believe my ears. I felt that my whole body had no strength left, but instead of falling to the cold ground, I was welcomed into a warm embrace again. I visited Lamb, inhaled the sweet scent on my nose and fell asleep deeply. An hour after waking up in the hospital, I found myself receiving fluids. The wounds on my hands had been applied. Medicine in the corner of the window not far from Shen Lemeng, who was looking down at the document. Her long eyelashes drooped slightly. Looking calm, but coldly, Anne woke up, and then she said softly, not bothering to look up, but still brought a sincere deadly charm. Thank you for taking me to the hospital. I remember the moment I met her before I fainted. The sentence before I fainted. Shen Li's beautiful eyes were like glass, staring directly at me, waiting for an answer to confirm my answer. Without hesitation, I don't want to be looked down upon. I don't want to be the weakest. So I have to be stronger if Shen Lemeng carries. The child will be the future heir of Shen T Group and will also be a solid support for me. I accept the contract from Shen Lemeng's hand and sign it immediately today. However, Shen Lemeng only smiled faintly and reassured. I wasn't in such a hurry. She stopped for a moment. Her beautiful eyes showed a little light, waiting for him to recover. Which I soon recovered. Under the contract I provided a sperm sample and followed the doctor's instructions. The conception rate is currently very high. If there is no surprise, Shen Lemeng will get pregnant soon. If she is successfully pregnant, please tell me right away. I'm hesitant because I'm the father of the child after all. I have a right to know the first time I look. Seeing that cold woman showing warmth as she gently caressed her belly. Her gentle eyes full of femininity. Of course, I wanted more than anyone else that I could get pregnant. And her desire made me confused. Shen Lemeng, young is the only daughter of the family and a successful businesswoman. Why does she want to have children so soon? A big question popped up in my mind, but then I brushed it off because it was her private matter. The next day when I left shopping, I accidentally stopped by a flower shop. The owner of the flower shop bloomed and welcomed me to buy a stone lotus again. Because I often Suyen stopped by, so I got acquainted with the hostess. I stared at the green stone lotus pot. The succulent petals were identical. The stone lotus pots that I used to buy for Chin Chen Chen every week. When I saw it, my eyes couldn't help but be red. At that time, my economic conditions were not enough to buy expensive bouquets of roses. After presenting Hu abroad to abandon her, Chin Chen was in a melancholy, often trying to commit suicide. Every time her mood was low, I gave her a lotus stones and don't know if it's thanks to the green trees her health and mental health are gradually improving. This has became my habit. Today I don't buy stone lotus anymore. I smiled lightly at the hostess and told me a bone pot. The dragon in the office on the top floor of the Shenxi secretary group was busy with a pile of work today. Valentine's Day. Shen Lemeng's pursuers were all very active, making her office almost turn into a sea of flowers. Although she refused to accept the flowers, everyone still tried to send them to the general manager. What should we do with the pile? This flower is this, the secretary asked Shen Lemeng miserably, sitting on the sofa that was still glued to the book, and replied very casually, simply sell it out. Today is Valentine's Day. The price will be at least 5 times higher than the market. The secretary was astonished, secretly admiring Shen Lemeng for having a light business mind. It is not surprising that she became the richest female billionaire in the country. However, when I saw a pot of cactus standing out among the rose forest, the secretary couldn't help but laugh. For the first time I saw someone gave a cactus on Valentine's Day. The secretary's words caught Shen Lemeng's attention. She looked at the cactus pot and asked if this was sent by Lu Zhou. The secretary nodded. Yes, he brought it to the company with his own hands. It was not surprising that his wife, I want a divorce. It's not romantic at all. The secretary teased him, thinking that just a pot of cactus can win his heart. Why did you let me take it away? Throwing it down. Shen Lemeng's cold voice sounded, startling the secretary and stopping. She faced Shen Lemeng's sharp gaze. Didn't dare to act on her own anymore. A dangerous aura spread. The secretary immediately felt unstable, realized that he had done something wrong. Sorry, general manager. I will put the cactus pot on the doorstep. As for all the other bouquets of flowers, I will clean up. Listen to Shen Lemeng's orders. The secretary does not dare to argue. There is only one way to do it. As requested, Shen Lemeng's gaze stopped on the cactus pot. Her eyes were cold and a little warm compared to those of The other man only wanted to win her heart with expensive bouquets of roses. But this cactus pot evoked a special interest with so many words to say. Why did he buy cacti when I was sitting at home crazy about the movie? The doorbell rang and opened the door. I was surprised to see Shen Lemeng standing in front of the door. You were going to let me stand outside the door forever, why did she say softly, but full of implications. I was a little surprised and hurriedly invited her in after pouring it for her. A glass of water, I heard her ask in a voice full of implication. Why you gave me the cactus before she had time to answer. Continuing, are you implying that I'm hard to approach? Full of thorns, easy to hurt others? Of course not. I quickly explained that she was afraid that she would misunderstand that the cactus was the regal plant of the plants that contained many nutrients, help strengthen the immune system and prevent cancer. Especially when she works in the office all day. Cacti will be very healthy. Do you like me? Her unexpected question almost made me bite my tongue. People often confess their feelings like this. Why? I don't know how to answer. Why did you misunderstand so much? Because today, it's Valentine's Day. I'm surprised. Today it's Valentine's Day. Why don't I know a lonely person like me who never remembers? I just thought that the cactus would be good for her. So I sent it without thinking much about it. Lemeng misunderstood. I explained more. She reassured. I don't like anyone and have no intention of loving her. Looking at me with sad eyes. She also seemed to lose some interest. She replied softly, and then shifted her gaze to the computer on the desk. I was just writing a novel when I saw her find out. I felt a little embarrassed. Few acquaintances know that I work as a left-hand writer because I don't have famous works either. What name did she ask to write? That surprised me. It's just a few mediocre novels. Don't care. I scratch my head. Embarrassed. If you don't speak, I also have 100 ways to know. With Shen Lemeng's strong background, I know if she is joking. Instead of letting her be confident, I decided to frankly say that I used the pseudonym of the dining school to listen to the latest Snowbook. I wrote that it was against the age line. She nodded slightly. Her expression did not change much. I hesitated, asked her if she bothered. If I keep updating, I haven't had time to finish the chapter. If I don't post today, I will lose the reward for all visible. Time was running out. I smiled shyly and said, you just sit there. I'm just writing for a while. I'm engrossed in typing on my keyboard. Affectionately, receiving her hot eyes watching me. Raising my head, I saw Shen Lemeng staring at my hand. I laughed. I have tendinitis typing on the computer too much. Stop. Taking a break will be fine. You take a break. I have to go home. Hear Shen Lemeng stand up. I saw her downstairs after getting into the car. She turned to the secretary and said to find some methods. Tendinitis sister sent to his house and contacted the tomato novel website. I am interested in a book. Love L. Amount to promote it. When I finished the new chapter and opened the management page, I was completely stunned by the series of notifications. Appear. Congratulations to authors. You've received strong recommendations from the system. Congratulations authors, you've been recommended. Channel VIP has up to 30 notifications from the system. All about my book being recommended. I thought the server crashed in a hurry. Contact the editor. My system is faulty. Why are there so many? Announcement of the proposal. Nowhere. Your book has sold the film rights. Then the famous director Tran Dao will transfer your work. Website must quickly promote it. Why has director Chen just won 5 awards? Domestic Gold Award and was nominated for an Oscar. The first was completely shocked that Tran Dao's works won awards. Or I didn't expect my book to be watched by him and about to be adapted into a movie. Why did everything happen so suddenly? A thought flashed in my mind. Could it be because Shen Lemeng was behind the arrangement? Everything seemed to be too coincidental. As soon as she asked my pseudonym, my book was immediately pushed to think so. I hurriedly called Shen Lemeng. Soon she picked up the phone. I timidly asked if she had recommended my book. I don't have any importance. Her answer surprised me. I won't do business at a loss. What I can do is help you get more people known. But you have to be able to do it. Shen Lemeng gently said that my initial disappointed mood was full of vitality. Come back. I thank you. If it weren't for your help, I probably wouldn't be known by anyone now. Not because of you, but because of the child. Will be born later. Shen Lemeng paused for a moment and then continued. I want you to be worthy of being his father. I will try. I tried my best after the call ended. I felt energized. Yes, I was about to become a father who couldn't live dreaming of building a solid career. I turned on my computer again and decided to write another 10,000 words. But my wrists ached because of tendinitis. This annoying disease really hinders me from developing when I'm rich. The door rang. I opened the door and saw Shen Lemeng's driver standing there with a pile of things in his hand smiling at me. You. Lu Zhou apologized for bothering you in the evening. These are the items that Our Lady sent you. These are the tapes. Anti-inflammatory, can relieve tendinitis pain, and this is a wrist belt that helps relieve soreness, and this is a very effective frying medicine in. I didn't expect Shen Lemeng to be so attentive normally. I don't pay attention, there is a little pain. I didn't expect to receive attention from her. I texted Shen Lemeng to thank you, really don't need. It must be so expensive. She only replied briefly in 2 words to ask for Shen Lemeng's help. My theory quickly entered the top 20 sales charts of the website Novel Temple. The channels were promoting my work. And when looking at the figures, I was really stunned. Today I made 320 yuan. My editor was extremely excited. Rubbing your hands like a fly is just the beginning. When your book is promoted on all channels, your income will multiply dozens of times. After receiving words of encouragement, I felt like I was past more motivation. So I will write 10 more chapters today. Now it's really hard for you to send me the address. I have some specialties to send because the editor lives in the city street with me. I called the fast delivery service. When I opened the sauce box, I was amazed to see one of the 3 famous specialties of the Yangtze River Yangtze rock fish. I heard that this fish has very delicate and rare meat. The price is extremely expensive sometimes. I couldn't even buy it. I couldn't afford to eat this expensive fish, and just as my father's birthday was approaching, I decided to bring it with me. It came to the birthday party. My dad's birthday party was held at a South Star hotel in the city. In the evening I wore the shirt white simple, holding a red bucket, entering the banquet hall. As soon as I entered, I felt everyone's strange eyes. But since this is my father's 50th birthday, I still try to stay with him. When I saw that I was the car. So you came a little late. I gently replied that it was Lu Chao. A shrill voice rang out. I turned to look at it. It was my stepmother, a middle-aged woman wearing a. Even though I had collected enough money for medical treatment, my mother still did not pass away. Kiss a rich woman. I and she are not close, rarely see each other, and I know she doesn't like me very much. It's only because I married Qin Xiaoxiao that she looks friendly. She glances at me from head to toe. Her eyes make me. I'm not comfortable at all. I'm dressed too comfortably today. I guess I'm tired of wearing branded clothes. Don't you understand, young people? Now, but today is our father's birthday. We should dress a little more formally. Although she is smiling, but I felt that there was something hidden in my grandmother's words. And she was pointing to my brother, who was talking to the guest. Say, look at your brother. He's really stubborn, it's so hot. But he still tries to sew a set of eyelid skin vase. He said that beautiful does not embarrass my family. My father was a little embarrassed and whispered to his stepmother so that the children could wear what they were comfortable. Then the stepmother is not satisfied in front of so many people like this. It's your son who has to pay attention to details, but I understand what you mean. Of my stepmother. And to avoid embarrassing my father, I just nodded to pass. Yes, next time, I will pay attention to my father. I nodded appreciatively. Even though, why did he remarry a rich woman, and a full life is not easy, but why don't you just see me go to my stepmother and ask me if I have prepared? The god of this question should be answered immediately. Ya Chen was busy not reaching. The smile on his stepmother's face immediately disappeared. Her voice clearly showed discomfort. It was better not to come alone, even though she said very quietly, but I can still hear it clearly. I bite my lip, used to my stepmother's inadvertence anyway. Everyone around me is just value me because I married a rich and powerful wife after sitting at the table to give away many guests. Invited to give extremely expensive gifts, from sculptural gold statues to rare boys. Jiang Minhuyan, the son of a proud step-aunt, took out an LV wallet and said, Uncle, this is a limited edition that I have to buy from abroad. Wish you good fortune. My scabies are full of happiness. I happily added. He attaches great importance to this birthday party. He has prepared this gift from a whole month ago. Everyone praised it for being wonderful. Although there is no blood relation. But it is really filial to Mr. Jiang Minhuyan smiled proudly when it was my turn to bring the bucket of fish in front of my father. This is a gift. I gave you this fish. Meat is tender and delicious. I want you to enjoy. Your smile suddenly stopped. He saw me carrying it. A bucket of water when he entered. But he didn't understand its meaning. He didn't expect it to be a gift. Min Huyan immediately teased him. I don't know how to choose the fruit. Why didn't my sister-in-law help me pay a little attention to whether I was abandoned in the house and not everyone? Everyone around began to giggle. Everyone knew that I had climbed high when I married the young lady of the Qin family. And many people believe that this marriage was not. It has been going on for 7 years. They think that the signs of breakup have begun to appear. My scabies are too much. Lu Zhou added. Ah, it's not your fault. But we lack anything. Even if you give a box of cow's milk. We don't blame you. I didn't see my father's disappointed gaze. My eyes began to turn red. I couldn't believe that the precious fish I had brought back. Being criticized like that, the step-aunt said in a tone full of confusion. Now in any fish market without even if there is no buy online, the idea is to know where to stop. Don't try to argue anymore at that moment. One of the guests spoke up in defense. He didn't say at length. This is an extremely rare Yangtze stone fish on the market. And it is difficult to buy. Its price has reached 6 figures. And the people around him immediately praise. My father suddenly realized that his son didn't just give gifts through the speaker, but silently did a lot of things. Thinking that he had looked at his son with skeptical eyes before, he felt very embarrassed. Step-aunt rounded her eyes, almost clenched her teeth. She didn't expect that I can get such a precious Yangtze stone fish. Zhang Mingxuan clenched his hands and said in a proud, he is really good to such a precious thing, but also earned. Even so, Zhang Mingxuan did not ruin the atmosphere in front of everyone, but bloomed, laughing. You're really my idol. There's nothing you can't do as a step-aunt. Continue. That's right. From childhood to adulthood, brother of. I have always been. Hawk Ba graduated from university in 2011. He is very excellent, not naturally, but just graduated from school and caught my eye. The green of the young lady of the Qin family, so that she has to marry. What do you see in Zhang Mingxuan? She flatter me. I saw that something was wrong. Could this be the kind of pressure through praise like for the legend? Immediately after, Zhang Ming Huyan smiled and said, brother, I was going to take the entrance exam to Harvard University, but I needed a letter of recommendation. I couldn't find the right person. My sister-in-law's family has such power. It must not be difficult to ask for a letter of introduction for you. Right. My face darkened. It's true that the lion grabbed a big piece and wanted to ask for a relationship with the Qin family to enter Harvard. This calculation is too sophisticated. Step-aunt, also hurry up and help. Rest assured. Everyone in the house will definitely help you. Immediately. I refuse. Sorry, me. Couldn't help it. Her step-aunt's smile immediately disappeared. She said in an unpleasant voice. It's just a small thing. And I don't either. How can I help if my brother can get into Harvard? It will be a pride for my whole family. Huyan also added. That's right, brother. At that time, I will take you to the canteen of the knitting things. Don't be petty like that. I still keep it. The calm expression on his face was really irrevocable because Qin Xiaoxiao was about to divorce me. And my words made everyone surprised. No one expected that at the birthday party they would be able to hear such shocking news. Kiss my dad. I'm amazed. C laughs at my husband. How do you really believe his words? He could even bring Yangtze stone fish. Wasn't it because he asked Lady Qin for help? How could there be a divorce? I don't believe that I can get such an expensive fish by myself. She is sure that Qin Xiaochen is behind the support. Help me calmly answer. You don't lie. This is the truth. Otherwise, why Qin Xiaochen didn't come with me here? But this Yangtze stone fish is just a coincidence. My step-aunt sneered. I am a novelist after all. But lying is such a loophole. Why did the editor give me such a red gift to the people around me? Whispering loudly and quietly. Everyone thinks that my reason is funny. My father shook his head in a helpless voice. Lu Zhou. You keep saying. What is it? Scabies pretended to cover his face with his hands, appearing to be wiping tears. His voice full of heartwarming. He didn't want to help. So he just said what to do. So he didn't expect people to tell him how difficult it was to live. In the past few years, I have no merit, but even a small request cannot be met. Am I just a person? Outside of that, why did my father hurry to pat the scabies to comfort the people around me? Began to criticize me. Lu Zhou, your aunt. It's very hard. You can help your brother. But that's right. It's just a letter of recommendation. But for the lady of their family, Qin is not a simple matter. Why don't you help your brother and enter the treasure? You will also enjoy the name. I find it ironic that they say it's thanks to letters of recommendation. But in fact, it's want me to use my relationship with the Qin family to give money to Zhang Mingxuan to enter Havi. This is the back door of these people. I just want to cause more trouble. Deliberately accuse me of morality. I even saw Zhang Mingxuan laughing silently. He always wanted to drag me into the water. My father saw that everyone was criticizing me. So to keep the peace he said, Lu Zhou, if you I'm afraid to open my mouth. Let my dad call me to meditate. I'll say it's because I respect my dad's face. It doesn't make it difficult for me. I feel everything. It's ridiculous. I don't want to owe Chen Xiao's favor, yet my father is on the side of what makes me fall into a situation. Awkward. Don't, Dad. When my dad was about to call, suddenly a voice coldly apologized. It seemed that I was late. A woman with a strong temperament walked in, which made me unable to help. Surprised what she came here, the whispers around began to sound. Oh, General Manager Shen Lemeng of the episode Shen Shi Group. Why did she come here? She is famous for never participating in a party. But Lu Chao's father is really talented. Good at being able to invite her to. My father didn't recognize Shen Lemeng, but from everyone's reaction he knew that she was a person with a high status. She knew who Shen Lemeng was. She couldn't hide her excitement. Her whole body trembled because agitating Miss Shen. Why did she come here? The step-aunt no longer pretended to be as warm as before, but immediately tried to flatter Shen Le. Dream glanced at her step-aunt with cold eyes that made her dare not approach her. Smile softly and said, I heard today is Lu Zhou's father's birthday. So even if I don't know, it's hard to ignore it. Of course, I have to come to give gifts. The people around couldn't help but be amazed. Lu Zhou was so good. Not only married the young lady of the Qin family, but also a friend of the general manager of Shen Shen's step-aunt gang. Smile. Try to tell Lu Chao. You are so secretive. You have friends who are so good at roasting. But you don't tell me anything. I miss you. I reply, maybe. I want to control my child's friendship. I'm an adult. But my step-aunt laughs wryly. How can that be? Hey. She glanced at the gift box in Shen Li's secretary's hand. Smiled Miss Shen Xiao. We are already very happy. Why do you still bring gifts? Guest is too mouthful. But in her heart, she was very excited. Shen Lemeng immediately, glancing at the secretary and him, immediately understood what the secretary meant. Opened the jewelry box. Inside was a series of red stone rings that radiated light. Bright red, full of charm. Step-aunt saw the string of rings. Her eyes were bright. This is a red stone. Nanshan. One stone is worth it. More than 60 yuan. And this whole series of rounds must be at least 3 million yuan. Which really cost Ms. Shen too much. Her step-aunt was going to give her a hand. Holding the box, Shen Lemeng quickly grabbed the chain of rings first. And suddenly the chain was broken. And the stones fell to the ground. Shen Lemeng's eyes, not a little do, even carried a little arrogance. Sorry. I accidentally broke it. Maybe you have to bend down to pick it up. Her voice was cold, without a hint of warmth. This arrogant attitude made anything scabies feel extremely humiliated. But she didn't dare to say anything for fear of losing face in front of a high-ranking person. She could only smile wryly. It's okay, and in the eyes of everyone she was forced to bend down to pick up the spilled stones that she should have been honored in the party. But now I feel that I have become a laughing stock for the world. And the more I pick it up, the more I feel really ridiculed. Very embarrassed. I couldn't help but be surprised by Shen Lemeng's actions. This is not a gift. It is obvious that she came to with a face as cold as ice. Shen Lemeng turned to look at me. Her gaze became a little gentler. She seemed to declare, the sovereign father said to my father, Uncle, it's only because you are Lu Zhou's father that I came here. If you don't consider Lu Zhou as a child boy, I don't need to do anything. In Shen Lemeng's cold voice, there is something majestic. My father. I understand that she came here to support me. I glanced around at everyone for a while, and then turned around. Stepping outside, Shen Lemeng also followed me. The cold wind outside blew around. I sighed and took it from my pocket, taking out a cigarette and putting it on my lips. It became a habit for me to bite the cigarette lightly to dispel the loneliness in my heart. The sound of high shoes. Heels sounded behind me, accompanied by a cold voice. Smoking is harmful to health. So I couldn't help but laugh sadly. I quit smoking. I gave up the habit of smoking for 10 years because Qin Xiaoxiao wanted to smoke again many times. But I just needed to. Inhaling a little smell of cigarette smoke is enough to overcome at that time. Qin Xiaoxiao also secretly changed my candy to sugar-free candy too. I don't have tooth decay thinking about this. My eyes are a little stingy. I'm sorry for making you had to witness an unsightly scene. But I was also surprised when she appeared. How did you know my father was having a birthday party here? Shen Lemeng replied coldly. His affairs don't need me to ask. There will be many people who will automatically tell me what I think. That's also true of her status. Many people want to please and work for her. The little things I do. How can you hide that you want to come to my house? Shen Li's beautiful eyes are like a fresh stream flowing through my heart. I was immediately wary. What did she mean by this? She was trying to seduce me. Why didn't I have time to answer? I heard her continue to say home. I have a lot of things at home you can do. I can't keep calm at this time. You are the devil. Why are you going to exploit your labor? I am cleaning is the best way to reduce stress. Shen Lemeng crossed his arms in front of his chest, eyes slightly lowered. If not happy, work to be busy and then forget. I feel a fleeting sadness on my beautiful face. It seems that even a cold person like Shen Lemeng has his own story full of twists and turns. I'm going to say something. But the phone suddenly rang. Looking at the screen, I saw that it was Qin Chen's mother. What was the matter with her? And she called me. At this time, as soon as I picked up the phone, I heard Mrs. Lu Chao sobbing. You hurry up and have a big problem here. Qin family's mansion. Qin Xiaoxiao's parents heard that she was going to divorce me as soon as they got home. They were angry. Qin Chen Xiao, are you stupid? Lu Zhou is such a good guy, why did you leave him to go back to him? Bastard Cheng Jiahuo, that's right. Even if Cheng Jiahuo had any reason to leave you before, the truth is that he abandoned him. If it weren't for Lu Zhou to save the situation, I would have become the laughing stock of the elite. Thien was still sitting on the sofa with a stubborn expression, obviously opposing his parents. I am very grateful to Lu Chao. But there is only a feeling of gratitude. Kui parents don't need to force you to stay with Lu Zhou. Qin Xiao's father was so angry that he almost fainted. He pointed his finger at her face anyway. I don't agree to let you reunite with Cheng family. Please quickly pull the strings. Xiao comes back. Otherwise I will lock my credit card so that I don't have a single penny to spend on Qin's mother. It is also true that if you don't drag Lu Zhou back this week, my parents will not have a daughter like you anymore. For the past 5 years, they have been very fond of me and hope that Qin Chen and I will really love each other. My daughter turned back to Cheng Jiawei, who was cornered in the street with Qin Xiaoxiao angrily, shouting that you don't need to be a child. My parents' daughter too. I will love Cheng Jiawei. I still want to marry and give birth to him. In the anger of Qin Xiao's father, Qin Xian was stunned, hugging her cheeks. Tears fell from childhood to adulthood. She has always been pampered, never beaten by her parents. But now just because of Lu Zhou, her father has beaten her without hope. Parents, I won't go back to Lu Zhou. Qin Chen shouted at me to marry Lu Zhou just to make Cheng Jiahu angry. Lu Zhou is too boring. Not romantic at all. No girl likes a man like him. Son, I'm bored. I want a divorce. What's wrong with her? Panting angrily, screaming at my dad. Her mother didn't notice that her parents were looking at the door with a surprised expression. Lu Zhou heard the call of Qin's parents. Xiao Xiao immediately saw that her head was numb. Her lips trembled. She turned her head and saw me, a young man standing at the door, as if she had been hit hard by a punch to her chest. Her heart ached. Qin Xiaoxiao didn't expect that all the words she said to her parents had passed. I didn't miss a word in my ears. Rest assured, I won't bother you anymore tomorrow morning. At 9 a.m., I said. In the voice was a little sour. Her lips smirked slightly, and she smiled sadly. I came here because Qin's mother said yes. But I didn't expect that what I heard was such cruel words. I kept thinking that, in my heart, although I didn't expect to achieve Qin Xiaoxiao's passionate love, I at least hoped that she wouldn't hate me. But I didn't expect her. This makes me feel like all my efforts over the years have become ridiculous. Lived like a farce. After I said every word, Qin was short-sighted. The more he regretted it. Each of her eyes was red. Tears. But when she had time to react, I began to leave. Lu Zhou. Qin was short-sighted. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, rushed in front of me. Tears rolled down my white face. I was wrong. I just said those words to provoke my parents. I don't mean the truth. Don't believe what you say. I look at her with complicated eyes. Her heart suddenly soured. She said those words were fake. So what was true when Cheng Jiawei came back to her? A little hesitant to leave me. I'm afraid that what she says now is not true. And she will abandon me once again. When I came back to think about it, I just felt that it didn't matter anymore. My heart was dead long ago. Dying in the days. Overcoming the face of my sincere feelings was thickened. My words were brief, but they were like a blade stabbing into the left. Qin's heart meditated, and it didn't matter whether this was important or he didn't matter. The sharp pain filled her heart. Full of despair and pain, she cried out loud. For some reason, why she was so heartbroken, especially when she saw that I was not a little hesitated to leave. She felt panicked. I walked out of the Qin family's house and saw Shen Lei Mengdu's luxury car. Outside, she sat in the car. Her gaze stopped at my red eyes. It's fine, but she frowned slightly and asked, yes, let's go. Opened the door and sat in the chair of the judge. Lemeng nodded and started the car. When the car started to roll, I heard the sound of running in and calling from behind. It seemed to be Qin Chen Xiao who was calling my name. Do you want to stop? Shen Lemeng asked to speed up me. Closing my eyes tightly. I'm the one who torments myself because I'm too concerned. If I don't care anymore. What's so scary? When Qin Xiao saw me sitting in a sports car with a woman, she couldn't believe her eyes. Even though she couldn't see the woman's face clearly. But only from Ang Shang. He knew that it was a beautiful person. So he really had an affair. Then Qin Zhen narrowly let holding. Cut off her hands. Red eyes. I won't forgive you, scammer. But as soon as she finished speaking, she burst into tears. At this time, Shen Lemeng took me home, thanked my aunt, and said in an indifferent voice, like a corpse without a trace, any strength. Even opening the car door to get off became heavy. Shen Lemeng looked at me, her lips slightly pursed, and said if there was still stress, come to my house. I have a lot of household chores to do. Listen to that. Even though I am crouching down, moody head, I couldn't help but smile. I didn't expect that a cold person like her had such a sense of humor. She was. Use this method to comfort me. It felt like Shen Lemeng's face was warming. But her eyes were still as cold as always. Without a mind, she started the car and drove off, even though she denied it. But her actions exuded pride. My condition was also a little lighter. But when I thought about having to go to get the divorce papers tomorrow, my heart was heavy again. The next day I went to the gate of the department. Dan Zheng took out the marriage certificate on time. I looked back at the wedding photo with Qin Chen in my heart. A little nostalgic. You came early. Didn't you look very excited? A sarcastic voice sounded in my ears. Qin Chen appeared first. My face was gorgeous, but my eyes were full of discomfort. I pursed my lips. The corners of my mouth lowered slightly. I deliberately ignored them. Go to her taunts. Let's go in. Come in. You think I want to share a household registration with you? Chen said angrily, and then walked arrogantly towards the divorce room of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Before coming here, she was prepared. Thought I would deliberately delay the divorce, but didn't expect me to show up on time. This made her feel that I really wanted to end this marriage as soon as possible. Maybe I wouldn't be there. Even though Qin Xiao's appearance was tense, deep down in his heart was filled with sadness. As long as I begged or shed a few tears, maybe she would soften her heart after signing the divorce papers. In Qin's eyes, he was able to meditate as he wished. The 5-year money had been transferred to his account from now on. We have nothing to do with each other anymore. Qin tried to hold back his tears and pretend to be comfortable. If we meet on the way, the road greeted me. I didn't know him. He confirmed that the money had entered my account. I bowed my head. The feeling of heaviness overwhelmed me. My heart couldn't stop myself from wanting to cry. I wanted to tell her not to leave me, but I knew very well that we didn't. We can only say a dry sentence in the end. Okay. Let's stop here. Qin Xiao walked quickly, dragging my tired body away from the steps of the Civil Affairs Bureau. My heart was like being cut by a knife. Pain and regret spreading throughout my chest. The memories of the short-sighted Qin suddenly rushed back like waves in my mind. I hugged tightly. My chest was lowered. I couldn't hold back my tears. And at that moment I felt a figure standing in front of me. I congratulated him on his freedom. And then a familiar voice sounded. And I hurriedly wiped the water, trying to keep his composure. He raised his head. I saw Shen Lemeng, a fairy-like woman. I was extremely surprised. You're here to see the father of my future child. Isn't it that you're no longer a very important married person? Why did she say that? I think a little bit. It must be a person like Shen Lemeng who always pursues perfection. I don't want to have any stains in my life. Rest assured, I'll take care of everything. Don't let you get in trouble. I took a deep breath and made a commitment. However, Shen Lemeng was not in a hurry to answer, but only used her beautiful cold eyes, staring at me. Believe me, I'm a magician. What do she say? Here, you're going to show me why I'm joking. I have to judge Lemeng to stop. Do you believe that one day she will regret it? I laugh bitterly. It's not that she's wrong. The wrong person is me. I shouldn't. If it is wrong to be moved, the whole world will be guilty. Shen Lemeng's eyes are like a bright moonlight in the sparkle. Gentle. Heaven has given him the right to love. Why is it wrong? But for Shen Lemeng to love someone is too difficult. So she doesn't want to. Love, thank you for comforting me now. No need, thank you. I didn't do this for you. Shen Lemeng softly put my hand on my stomach. If I am really pregnant, I don't want my child to suffer the pain of losing my father. Smiled faintly, reassured. I'm not a weak person who didn't die because of affection. Shen Lemeng looked at the man first. Her face with a rare gentle look. She said, I took you to a place at a luxurious 5-star restaurant. Shen Lemeng, sit in an armchair and order with the waiter for him white truffles. Keep going until he's satisfied. Hearing that, I frowned. You are going to bankrupt me. Why is the white truffle famous for being expensive? An A has been more than 3,000 yuan in the blink of an eye. Tens of thousands of wings flew. Shen Lemeng just lifted his wine glass without caring at all. He thought, I can't afford this meal even though eating such luxurious dishes makes me feel a little loved. In the afternoon, but I still didn't want to waste it. So I told the waiter to leave. When I saw Shen Lemeng about to drink, I hurriedly. Gold holding her hand again. Drinking alcohol while preparing for pregnancy is not good for her health. Her gaze stops. In my hand made me embarrassed. Hurriedly let go. Apologize to whoever said this is wine. She smiled full of implications. This is juice. I blushed. Felt embarrassed. Sorry, I was wrong. Shenla didn't either. Notice, just smiled softly. Her eyes became softer. She said with a little concern. Why don't you eat ice cream? I like to eat ice cream. But I bow my head. My face is a little sad actually. I have never liked to eat ice cream. The person who likes to eat it is Chin. Meditation, and I just pretended to like it to make her happy. In fact, I prefer to eat spicy food. But Chin Xiao couldn't. It's spicy, so I've been fasting for 5 years. From now I'll eat what I really like. I take a spoon and take a sip of soup. Peeling off the tear gas. Shen Lemeng saw me become more comfortable. Her elegant figure leaned against the double chair. The long slender hand lightly touched the cheek, exuding a rare tenderness. At the same time Qin Shaoshen threw the new divorce certificate. Grab her, Dad. Dad is satisfied now. Dad is so angry that he almost fainted. Pointing at her face. Scolding the unfilial daughter next to Qin Xiaoxiao's mother is also extremely disappointed in her. You are too short-sighted. Qin's mother short-sightedly scolded. His voice was full of disappointment, but Qin Xiaochen was still as stubborn as before. From childhood to adulthood, this is the time. First, I feel that I did it right. I never regret it and am very happy that I can choose my own path. After speaking, she turned around and walked upstairs without looking back, looking at the stubborn appearance of Qin's father's daughter. She gritted her teeth and gritted her teeth. She only knew how to think of Lu Zhou's love as such a good man. But she chose to submit to who in the future? Miserable. Poor Lu Zhou. How many years has he treated her very well? And in the end, he accepted. Was like this. Mother Qin looked at her husband and felt regretful. But she quickly came up with a plan. She stopped by my husband's ear, said quietly. Is it like this? Qin's father heard it. His eyes lit up excitedly. He nodded excitedly. You are so smart. Maybe. There was still a chance to tie the two of them together at this time. On the luxurious princess bed upstairs, Qin was short-sighted. Suddenly felt her stomach cramp and hurt. She curled up and hugged her stomach tightly, biting her lips until it was white, until she was white. And then it definitely hurt again. Qin Xiaoxiao's menstrual abdomen almost every time she had a period. She had severe abdominal pain. But there was always someone by her side in the past. He will cook red sugar water with longan for you in exchange for warm socks. When you are in a lot of pain, he will cool your stomach. He even learned a massage from an oriental medicine salon to help her relieve pain. After he massaged her relief. But now there is no one beside her. The room is really empty. Combing tears, Qin meditating. She feels unusually empty. She won't come back. And this loss makes her feel very good. Annoyed, she unconsciously dialed my phone number. Realizing what she was doing, Qin Xiaoxiao was startled. Stopped and took a bite. Cut off her lips to prevent herself from calling me. Then she decided to call Cheng Jiahu. However, he didn't pick up her phone. Called many times, but still no one listened. Why don't you answer the phone? Qin Xiaoxiao angrily threw the phone. Felt extremely distressed. If it was Lu Zhou, he would definitely answer the phone immediately. Never let her wait. Finally, she couldn't help but call me again. Her heart pounding like a little deer dancing in her chest. Knowing what awaited her when the phone was picked up, Qin Xiaoshen felt a surge of hope. But she was afraid that I was too proactive. So I hurriedly pretended to be angry and kept the menstrual pain medicine so that I could not find it. However, from the other end of the line, the voice of a woman sounded. She was a child, even if she had menstrual cramps. Qin Xiaoxiao's ex-husband H. Wang immediately turned off. She tried to ask her who took Lu Zhou to answer the phone. Where is he? The woman indifferently replied. He's in the toilet. Do you want to answer the phone? I'll ask you. But this girl, She is an ex-wife. And she has a relationship with him forever. Not afraid of her new boyfriend being jealous. Chen Xiao listened. Her heart seemed to be choked. That's right. She is now Cheng Jiawei's girlfriend. So what are you doing? Calling Lu Chao wasn't humiliating herself. She didn't have time to answer. She called and hung up. It was Lu's new girlfriend. Zhou Daoqin suddenly felt panicked. Her heart ached as if pierced by thousands of arrows. At this moment the phone rang again. She hurriedly picked up the phone, thinking that it was Lu Zhou. But it turned out to be Cheng Jiahu. What's wrong? Meditation just now. He was filming the show. He didn't bring his phone. Chen Xiao was full of frustration. Not Lu. Chao called back. There was nothing. She replied briefly. I miss you. Good. I have to grow up. I still have to work. I can't be by my side all the time. Don't be too stubborn. I'll bring you the fruit when. After filming Cheng Jiao's words, Chen was on fire. She didn't know why, but she didn't like it. Cheng Jiahu said that he didn't understand what you needed to bring the fruit or not. I didn't care. Chen anxiously hung up the phone when I came back from the toilet. Shen Lemeng calmly explained that his ex-wife had just called. No one answered the phone. So I picked up the phone. She asked about the pain medication. I was a little surprised and quickly turned around. Nodded normally. Yes, I know. Shen Lemeng looked at me. He didn't plan to call her back. Why did I reply coldly now? I am no longer in a position to call her back. Her boyfriend probably doesn't want me to call to hear her answer. Shen Lemeng's crimson lips slightly showed a satisfied smile. She was obviously very satisfied with my answer. Eyes filled with admiration. The next morning, when I was sitting in the company, concentrating on the pile of documents, suddenly there was a loud bang. A large bouquet of flowers was thrown the table. I almost hit my face. Lu Zhou looked at what he did. What's the matter of the divorce and still wanting to cling to my girlfriend? Cheng Jiahu appeared with an angry expression that made me frown. What do you mean? I look at Cheng Jiao. Unhappy because he came here to cause trouble without distinguishing between right and left. In addition to talking, I suggest that I don't want my personal affairs to become the topic of discussion of my colleague Cheng Jia. Even if you are a celebrity, you have to follow me to the safe corridor area. This place is quiet. There is no one. You know the reason. Chen married him. Now they have broken up peacefully. But he also bought a large bouquet of flowers and wrote a card. Love to try to win her heart back. Why? Cheng Jiahu said contemptuously. Said yesterday that he heard the news of Chen was not in good condition. So she flew back, but unexpectedly found a large bouquet of flowers in front of her door. And the bouquet was caused by. I bought this. Made him angry. So Cheng Jiahu inquired where I worked and came here to question me. Naturally, I immediately clarified. I didn't buy flowers. I didn't write the card. I misunderstood. And then Cheng Jiawei sneered at his eyes, full of contempt. He didn't dare to admit how much money he did all this. It wasn't for money. Why did he laugh coldly? Then took out a black card from his wallet and threw it on the table. Here there was 3 million yuan. The password was 88888888, far below Chen ban. According to the agreement, I can't bother Chen Zhen anymore. Now Cheng Jiahu's suggestion is no different. Come on, give me a free amount of money. I smiled faintly. I heard my brother quickly stuffed a credit card in the pocket of everything. Went smoothly as if I was used to this. She presented. Who surprised? He thought I would be difficult to deal with. But he didn't expect it to be so easy. Now he doesn't even know how to deal with the reproaches he has made. Prepare if you want to know Chen's hobbies, Zen meditation habits, what you hate. I will give you full eye. Cheng Jiawei was surprised. I didn't know if I was being honest or playing a game. He was completely confused when Cheng Jiahu left. I went back to the office and continued to work. Time passed quickly until evening. I came home and was surprised when I saw a figure sitting in front of the door. Next to me was a big bag of things, as if I had just gone to the market. Dad, why is Dad here? I asked. Calm voice but a little surprised. My father was a little shy. Dad asked through my colleague is a new little. Knowing that you are here. My father doesn't care about you. I don't even know that you are divorced and moved out of the Chin family's house. He laughs even though he. A little awkwardly. I still complimented my father's delicious green chili stuffed with meat that he came to cook for me today. I was extremely surprised, because my father hadn't contacted me for a long time. The last time we met was at his birthday party. But that meeting was not very happy. Unexpectedly, today he brought, according to so many things, and even took the initiative to cook rice for me. I almost thought this was just a dream. But looking at the man first, I knew this was the truth. Tears welled up in my eyes. And my father went into the house when he saw my simple house. My father's heart was a little broken. He lived in a luxurious villa. But he couldn't invite his son to live with me, suffering outside. This makes him sad. My father and I live here is fine. Alone. I don't need a big house. I'm trying to laugh and comfort you. I didn't say anything, just put a red notebook on the table, which made me extremely surprised. Dad, what is this? You just take it. The house I bought before but has not been repaired. Today I have completed the procedures and transferred it to you. I want to. No matter how to fix it. You don't need to fix it. Your father has enough money that I say I don't want to do. Bother him more, because I know that your financial situation at home is not good. Parents for their children at home are not a problem. Of course. Why is this a wedding gift? I prepared it for my son. I don't have a house. Why can I marry my wife? I have to accept the name above. The red book has been changed to my name. I don't accept it. I won't stay here. I'm not going anywhere anymore. And I won't cook for you anymore. Said in a serious voice. He also added that from childhood to adulthood, his father did not give you much. He spent a lot of money. Take care of your mother's medical treatment. Consider this as dad's compensation for you. Don't worry about love affairs anyway. Dad has always been. My child's support has been listening to my father's words. My heart has been unusually warm for a long time. I just heard the loving words from my father to thank him after seeing me accept. Red book. My father said okay, now he will go to the kitchen to cook rice for my child so that he can helping dad. The two of them were busy together in the kitchen, quickly making a table full of food after dinner. The two of them sat down, chatted for a while and saw that it was late at night. My father got up and was about to leave when he got into the car on his phone.